Tonight we have an odd entry in the ongoing collaboration between Carl M. Jenks' Poetry Corner and the Bespoke Vocals. But bear with. Carl's next missive will be about a book that translates Emily Dickinson's poems from English to English. So I'm going to do a few readings from that book. The book contains no poems of Emily Dickinson, merely the translation. So Carl has supplied me with the poems. I will read the poem and then the translation. So this will be a little choppy tonight. So, from the Emily Dickinson Reader, an English to English translation of Emily Dickinson's complete poems by Paul Legault. Number 314. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. Translation. Hope is kind of like birds, in that I don't have any. Number 448. I died for beauty, but was scarce adjusted in the tomb, when one who died for truth was lain in an adjoining room. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth. Themselves are one. We brethren are, he said. And so, as kinsmen met a night, we talked between the rooms, until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. Translation. Now that I'm a zombie, I have sleepovers all the time. Number 479. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove. He knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too, for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of gazing grain. We passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us. The dews drew quivering and chill, for only gossamer my gown, my tippet only tulle. We paused before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. Translation. I went on a date with this guy, and it was nice, but in a boring kind of way. Then it was getting late and I was getting cold because I was wearing this really skimpy dress. But luckily, we finally got to his place. It wasn't so much a place as it was the underworld. But it's not like I could say, "Hey, hold on, buddy." I was already dead. Whatever. The Emily Dickinson Reader. An English to English translation of Emily Dickinson's complete poems by Paul Legault. Thank you as always, Carl. This was an odd little tidbit. All right. Well, if you want more information about Carl M. Jenks's Poetry Corner, go to carlmjenkspoetrycorner.com. If you want to know more about me, well, here I am. You can go to bespokevocals.com. That's printed out right there. Yes. All right, then. I'll see you tomorrow.